So 2020 key takeaways and what's changing in 2021. So first slide. We supported Jeffco Public Health. We put together a PPE drive in a week after everything shut down on March 17th, if everybody remembers, on St. Patrick's Day. And we had a PPE drive at the West Metro Chamber offices. We brought in so much PPE, and it's just so weird for me to look at this because this was for our healthcare workers. They did not have enough PPE to keep doing their jobs, and now we're a site, you'll hear about that later, for PPE that is now being distributed throughout the county for our businesses. But this was amazing. That was an amazing that was our first collaboration. All of the chambers pulled together. We did it because we could do it through our offices, and we had school nurses from Jeffco Public School going through everything that they knew could go to healthcare, and then other things that could not go to healthcare that could go to other businesses. So that was amazing.
All right, so this slide, some of these images might seem like a blast from the past. You might have seen these over the time frame. As you can see, we have been updating our community and keeping them in touch with different resources in our county, starting in March 2020. So you can see this is just the first slide of this, and we are constantly changing based on when it's safer at home, when it's at the stay-at-home measures. And I'm going to go to the next one. When we went to level orange, and then a few days later went to level red. So we are constantly updating this, and it's the direct image that you see when you open up the West Metro Chambers website, and it links directly to our resource page. And there's this.
So Madison has done an unbelievable job, and the only thing I'm going to take credit for is sending her stuff like crazy. I mean, things could change on an hourly basis and be like, okay, you know that thing you just posted? Okay, now you need to update it to this. And this went on. This was not a 9 to 5 thing. This was not, 5 days a week. It was amazing what Madison was able to do to keep our community, and not just our members, our community up to date. So it was fantastic.
So we also hosted educational programs this past year, co-hosting with different partners in the community and globally. So we partnered with Jeffco BRC, which is the Business Resource Center, on doing COVID funding options. At the very beginning, that one was on April 3rd, as well as we taught people how to use Zoom, which the beginning of this call was a little shaky. Nonetheless, we did teach Zoom calls at the very beginning when people were saying, what is Zoom? Now I feel like we all have recognized that word as, in everyday life. But at the very beginning, a lot of people were confused on how to access the link. So we taught all of these different classes, as well as hosting a Zoom call, because all of your one-on-ones now, most of them are usually virtual and mostly on Zoom or WebEx or however you do those meetings. So we wanted to make sure that we taught our members how to best use their business resources. So we also partnered with Amazon Small Business Academy, as well as the U.S. Global Leadership Coalition in August, where we had Representative Nagus speak to our group. So we had a good time with all these new educational programs, as well as we had 2 new programs introduced at the peak of everything, or should I say the middle of the year. We introduced the midweek meeting. This was basically a weekly meeting that Pam and I would just answer questions. So we would have, people range from about 3 people to attend to about 20 people. And it was just, if you have questions, bring it to us. Like, we know the best resources. We try to keep you updated, but if you don't see the weekly news blast or whatnot. So that was a new program, as well as we did a member meet and community check-in where we had a representative from Jefferson Center for Mental Health, and also someone from the Colorado District Office from the Economic Development specialty, speaking on all of the fronts to make sure all of our members were doing okay and staying in check with themselves as well.
We also worked with all of our city chambers across the county to promote Takeover. The first time everybody was shut down. We are doing it again as well, and we're hoping to push to get our restaurants back open again. That's another story. Next slide. That was my day today. We instituted the Safe and Open Pledge, which all of the chambers and the county did together. When we talk about collaboration, we really mean that we did the rip off and duplicate. So R&D was very different, and everybody came together to help our businesses, and it chokes me up when I talk about it. Okay, so next slide. And then PPE. So this is what we were talking about. All the chambers are now PPE distribution sites, and we are the most popular. I don't know if we're just most central or what, but we have put together over 80 packages of PPE. Comes through. Thank you. Comes to the county, we pack it up. It's kind of like a really nice Zen thing after a really hard day. It's like, oh, I've got 5 more, so I'm gonna go pack those up in the back. People are so grateful. And these are not just members, these are just businesses that get in there and say, yes, we would really like this PPE. This comes from the CARES dollars from the county, so it doesn't cost them anything, which is awesome.
So we also transitioned all of our major programs to a virtual setting right off the bat. We have our Women in Business, which usually has around 75 people all in a small room sharing the same serving utensils and everything. So we changed that up. We actually had our March Women in Business, which is usually held on the 4th Tuesdays, actually did happen and just went to Zoom. So we were happy to have everything just go straight to Zoom seamlessly as it felt, as well as virtual business after hours, which originally is business after hours with over 100 people in a small area. So we also hosted Young Professionals, Wind Down Wednesday virtually, Union Corridor Professionals, South Jeffco Business Alliance, and Maximize Your Membership all in a virtual Zoom setting. At one point, we attempted at hybrid for Wind Down Wednesday as well as Union Corridor, but we felt with safety measures and everything that it's best to keep it virtual as long as we are led to be.
So then we were unusual. We were one of the few chambers that were able to do 2 in-person events. Well, one was hybrid, one was totally in person, and you'll notice that Foothills Credit Union was one of our big sponsors. Thank you very much, Scott. We had 108 golfers. That is as many as we had last year, which was just unbelievable to us. But I think by September, people were really starting to feel the fatigue, and it was beautiful. It's like, let's just go out and do this. We did it safely. It was wonderful at Homestead. Then Women's Summit, everything, went to hell. And we were planning on having 75 to 100 women in person and the rest hybrid, and we got 25. But we had 25. It was great. And I have to tell you, we've had some people say it was the best women's summit we've ever done. We had really high quality speakers. We had over 100 people tune in online with our 25 in person. So it was amazing. And we really thank our sponsors, and you guys did a great job online, in person. It was very unusual, but I'm very proud of our chamber and our members for getting it done. It was awesome. And Melissa was Melissa, there she is. Melissa was our fantastic Women's Summit event person, and she did an amazing job hybrid. I was very nervous. I'm not nervous anymore. So Melissa can do any of our events, in person or hybrid, or virtually, whichever it happens to be. Taste of the West was really fun. This was another great thing where we did a DIY, trying to get those restaurants noticed October 5th through 8th. You had to go visit them. It was very different, but very fun. Next. We did a virtual candidate forum. So we took the 5 districts that nobody else had as far as cities went, because a lot of them are in Jeffco unincorporated, and we did a virtual candidate Zoom. It was amazing. We were very excited. We were very nervous, but Arvada luckily shared a lot of the things that they do on theirs. And so Madison was able to pull it off. All I'm going to say is I got the people there. She did everything else. Thank you, Madison. And the biggest thing, our class, Leadership Jefferson County class of 2020, went all the way through until March. They were supposed to graduate in June. Life changed very drastically. We kept them going, and they graduated in December. Unfortunately, they missed healthcare day because our healthcare workers are just too stressed, but they raised almost $1,200. in their class project during COVID to send to the Action Center. And they were very, very grateful for that. And they're still working on things as well. So LJC class, you are true leaders during this COVID crisis.
Also in the year, we did the membership mask as a fundraiser for the chamber. So you'll see some familiar faces here. So this was a design project that we actually printed through Dana with Golden Printing. So thank you, Dana, for getting us connected there. And it was a fun way to showcase your membership. I pitched it as the way to wear your like storefront decal on your face. So it was a really fun project that we got to do this year.
And we hired great sales team people. And we have a nifty digital new member folder that we have to give credit to our intern who we had to use totally virtual from Jeffco Public Schools. We never got, did we get to meet her?
No.
We never got to meet her in person. It was so sad, but she did the greatest job. And so now we have a virtual prospect, prospect digital folder. We also have a welcome packet. It's pretty awesome. We also have Ralph, who's our chamber engagement guy, and Erica Hawley, who's one of our business connectors, both of our salespeople. So that's been awesome. And membership. We're working it every way we could. The fact that we've gained nearly 80 members during 2020 is unbelievable. That comes from you guys referring people to us. It comes from doing our COVID-19 % off. Then we got rid of that because we're like, ooh, don't even put COVID in like membership. Then we did recovery, 20% off. We're doing a Secret Santa right now. If you're doing well, if you want to gift a membership, please do. We've got people on a list that would be happy to have help with their renewals. And then we're also, it's a half price sale through the 18th. For anybody who really needs to be a new member. So in 2021, I'll just go ahead and say it, we're going to start the first quarter with 21% off because we have got to keep our members moving, especially the ones that are having problems. So we're here to help and we'll continue that in 2021.
And since I'm the marketing gal here, I'm proud of these numbers. So we do a West Metro Weekly e-newsletter every week. We actually gained over 450 new subscribers this year. That puts us at about 2,700, a little bit over 2,700. So exciting news about that. And we have an above industry average open and click rate. So that's super exciting. So thank you guys for engaging with the newsletters and engaging with all of the emails that we send out. As well as our social media following and the activity that we do on these platforms have progressed. So our Facebook followers grew by 48% in 2020. We tweeted an average of 2.33 times this year. And we also grew in LinkedIn followers as well. So this is a great way to, if you don't opt-in our website, if you follow us on any of these things, you'll see us posting constantly. I mean, as you see, at least 2 times a day. So that's all of 2020. So now we'll talk about what's changing in 2021. So we are going virtual for the first quarter for all programs. That includes leads groups as well. And then we will reevaluate in March and April. So this includes women in business, business after hours, young professionals, South Jeffco, and Union Corridor right now. We're also introducing 2 new programs, which is ROM and Leadership Live. So ROM is ROI, but return on membership. So it's a great way to figure out the best way to get the best bang for your buck when it comes to your membership dollars. The first one is actually coming up early January or mid-January about, and it's sponsored by Abundant Business Connections. And we're going to talk about all the ways that you can market your business online using the chamber membership that you have. So that's our first topic, and we'll change topics when we hold it every other month. Leadership Live is actually a speaking opportunity for you to speak to our membership on your best practices and sharing tips and tricks for fellow business owners. I mean, I get this question at least once a day of how can I speak to your members? And this is the best way. What we'll do is record. It will be virtual year long. So it will be a recording. You can do a registration and have people sign up to attend, or you can just do a webinar just for yourself to share your updates and to share your best practices. And then we'll be posting it online and on our social media. We also are doing newsletter ad spots for full month runs. Like I just talked about, we have over 2,700 readers and also a high click rate. And we offered this at the end of last 2020, but we've changed it up that now it's a month long, but you can change up your art for your ad as often as you want throughout that 4 to 5, however long the month is, how many Mondays there are in that month. And you also get the list of people who click your ad as well once it's over. Hot deals. This has been a thing for a while with the chamber, but what we're going to do is hashtag deal day. And so if you post a hot deal on our website, you're actually going to be showcased on our Facebook for having a deal online. So it gets you a little bit more attention for your deal, which is basically a discount or a coupon or however you want to word it for whatever your business is doing. So if you're offering a, free back massage, then we'll put it online. So that kind of thing. So we are also doing 2021 membership digital decals for member websites. So you can put at the bottom that you are a proud chamber member. And then last but not least, we have renewal shout outs in newsletter and Facebook. So for our members that renew on an annual basis on a certain month, we will be giving a little shout out to them in the newsletter as well as Facebook to give them a thank you for renewing your membership. So yeah, that's what's changing for the chamber. And then the question is, how can we support you in 2021? So I'm gonna stop sharing my screen and let's discuss how we can help support you guys.